I know Evan's going to be very excited when we talk about this. Jordan, I'm not exactly sure, but Evan, your Tennessee Titans are sitting there at 1-4. Um, obviously Cam Ward has been playing. He's been making some pretty good passes. These wide receivers just keep dropping them. I mean, the passes might be a little far out to the right or far, you know, outside of the reach, or a little too, maybe a little too far. But these, I mean, Calvin Ridley has just dropped a bunch of passes this year. Calvin Ridley has been one of the most disappointing factors of this
Although
NFL
you
season,
do
I think,
you
so
do got
far.
to give him props. He did come through last Sunday, but yes, before that he's been super disappointing.
He did. I think he had like 68 yards on that final drive. I think that got Joey Slide down there. He kicked a game-winning field goal, walk-off field goal.
Yeah, but you're talking
But
about the you're I'll just go from there really quick. You're talking about the worst game of the week. We just came off one of the best comebacks in history. I don't know if it's more bad on the Cardinals and more good on our part. We'll leave other people to decide that. But as a Titans fan, I'm pretty excited about all of that. But yeah, okay. So worst game of the week. Yes, Jake, you are first of all, I'm insulted. But second of all, you are right on the substance. Both the Raiders are talent-wise are not a good team, and the Titans talent-wise are not a good team. However, if we keep letting this is going to be the third game Brian Callahan, the head coach of the Titans, switch play calling abilities to our quarterbacks coach. The first game he was coach versus the Texans, we didn't really do much. He didn't really air it out that much. But this Cardinals game, halfway through, it's like, all right, we're down 21-3. Let's just air it out a little bit. Let's just let's start scoring some points and stuff like that. And they let Cam Ward throw. Yes, he made some iffy throws yet, but some magic started to happen. And eventually that turned into at the 50-yard line, about 30 seconds left, he delivers a 30 something yard strike to Calvin Ridley to end it. So that's what I want. That's what I would like to see. And I think this could be a very entertaining game. Geno Smith obviously can still play quarterback. Turnovers have been a pretty big problem for him at the end of last year and carrying into this year now too. Um, so yes, talent wise, you are right. This is the worst game of the week, but I think it could be a very fun offensive game, and I'd like to see Cam Ward keep slinging, and I hope they do not put the training wheels back on him. If he throws a pick, so what?
damn,
So what? Let him learn. Yeah.
damn boys gotta keep doing it. I think I I wanna say that's the only way the Titans will win this football game if Cam Ward airs it out, but they could probably win it by running it as well. This Raiders defense is not that good either. They just came off, allowing 41 points to a Colts team. Yes, the Colts are playing really good this year with Daniel Jones at quarterback, but like giving up 40 points in an NFL game, we see that in college games a lot, but giving up that many points in NFL games, that's just crazy. But Jordan, what are your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, so like Evan mentioned, talent wise, this is arguably by far the worst game of the week. Um, I I can't believe we're talking about the worst game of the week as opposed to the game we're most looking forward to, but here we are. Um, I don't know. I'm pretty sure you all remember after Tennessee lost, I believe Houston. Cam Ward in the post game presser said we butt. That's not exactly, he didn't say but I think we could all interpret what he said. Um, and then I was,
I hear that Shadow shows up in Nashville now.
they do, which I find hilarious. Kind of a team motto, I guess. Um, I guess maybe on their way to 1-16. I don't know, Evan. What do you got to say?
No, there won't go 1-16. I was saying last week after that Houston game, which Houston is not even that great of a team, and we just could not do anything. I'm like, they might go 0-17. The Titans might like after watching that game, that was the worst game I've ever watched in my life. That Texans game, I'm like, they might and yes, again, the Cardinals did collapse, but the fact that we were able to put up 22 points leads me to think, I know, I think it's still gonna be a rough year for the Titans. It's gonna be a building year. But no, I think they're definitely at least going to win one more game. Hopefully Sunday, and I think it's a good shot Sunday because the Raiders they're not good on defense. They turn the ball over too much. Like Jake was saying, the run defense. I don't know if Tajay Spears is going to play this week, but maybe get Tony Pollard is starting to look like an old man for the Titans though. So it's going to be interesting. Yeah.
And then another thing that I want to say about the game, I hope Evan doesn't find this too insulting. It's just this just feels like one of those games that you look at the score, like whatever it is, and go, whatever. Um, and but really though, I mean, Jake talked about the fact that the Raiders just last week allowed 40 points to the Colts. Yes, they're the Colts, but I mean, with all due respect to Daniel Jones, he's also the quarterback up there. So I don't think so. This Raiders defense is not very good. Tennessee is not very good. This game can go either way.